coming at you from my living room in my happy face shirt that I am a big fan of. And I don't have any class content for you today, but I did think of something cool that I wanted to share with you, and I thought it might just be nice to touch base because I think that it's getting to the point where some folks are getting down and stressed and anxious and, having a little bit of a lack of motivation. So I just thought of something, like I said, that I thought was pretty cool today that I wanted to share, just in case it helps you like it helped me. So right now, a lot of people are feeling lonely, which is fair because we're isolated, right? So we're not doing the things we normally do. We're not going out and socializing in the ways that we normally socialize, and that can feel really, lonely and isolating. But the thing I realized today is that we may never be a part of something bigger than this. Like, this is everyone around the world. Not everyone, but a lot of people around the world are doing the same thing you're doing right now. There are probably more people in their homes right now around the world than doing anything else, any other one thing. More people than are on Facebook. It's crazy. So, rather than feeling like you're all alone and you don't know how to process this thing that we're all doing, maybe keep in mind that you're part of a global solution. We are a global community right now, and we're all doing the same thing for the same reason, to keep each other safe. And I think that there's a lot of power to that. So rather than feeling like, you have no power over this situation, give yourself that. And pat yourself on the back, because what we're doing is not easy, but it's huge. It's really huge, and it's important. And from someone who is so lucky to have a healthy family, right from a 4-month-old cousin to an 88-year-old grandfather, I'm so grateful that my whole family is healthy right now, and I have you to thank for that. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you for doing what you're doing. Thank you for making this sacrifice. I know it's not easy, but it is so very appreciated. And if we get out of this, if we get to the other side of this with healthy families, my goodness, it is only because we are all in this together. So we really are all in this together, and I think that we should have that sense of community and that sense of a higher purpose, because this does go beyond any one of us individually. And that's not to make light of it or say you should just be having fun, because that's not necessarily the case, and I can't wait to hug my parents again. But it just can help to change our perspective a little bit, and I found that perspective very comforting. So I thought you might as well. There's a couple other perspectives that I've been thinking about that I just wanted to share with you. And I know it's week 14, and you're supposed to be out on your field placement and getting your hands dirty and having this really cool culmination of your 4 semesters that you've put in, and you're not doing that. And I'm sorry that you're not doing that, but there really are some things that I think that we can spin on this that make it a little easier to stomach. So the first thing to remember is you got a week and a half of your program left, and you have been through 4 semesters of EM, which means that you're prepared for pretty much anything that life can throw at you. So this is really good training. You have high expectations and you meet high standards in this program, and there's a reason for it. And it's because it makes us resilient, and it makes us better able to handle something like this. So keep that in mind. You have gone through so much, and you have grown so much, and you have 1.5 short weeks left, and there's no reason that this thing that's going on should stop you from being successful. So remember that, empower yourself with that, because that is something to be proud of for sure. Now, I am someone who is fairly lucky to have not had to go through a lot of hardships in my life. That's not to say that there aren't ups and downs, because everyone has ups and downs, and I've had some things that I struggled with. And so I don't think I've been on this planet long enough to consider myself wise, but I have learned some things from some of those downs, and how to pick myself up out of them and get back into the upswing. So if you're in a down right now, if you've had a bad day, if you've had a bad couple of days, it's okay. Don't beat yourself up over it. For now, more than most times, you may need to help yourself get back into that upswing. And perspective is always something that we have control over, so you may be able to easier take yourself into that upswing by remembering a couple of things. So some things I've learned through my life and in some times that have been hard. One is that everything happens for a reason. And the whole reason that I am where I am right now is because of something really bad that happened to me. And it changed the trajectory of my entire life, which brought me to Frost Campus, which brought me to my career path, which brought me to my fiance, and brought me to teaching, which I never expected to do, but I really like, and it gives me a lot of meaning and purpose. And I don't think I would be here if not for that really awful thing that happened to me. So I wouldn't want to go through it again, and I wouldn't wish it on anyone else, but I'm so grateful that it happened to me. So we don't always see the meaning of these things right away. And if this is the first really hard thing you've gone through, just remember that there'll be a meaning for it. And we have control over, what we do to take ourselves out of it, because I had to pick myself up out of a tough place. And it wasn't easy, but man, has it ever paid off. So just remember that, there's always that who knows factor, and we don't know what opportunity is going to knock next, but we do need to be open to it. And we do need to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves so that we can be open to it. So the other big thing that I've learned from things that I've struggled with is that this too shall pass. Went through a few years of some hard stuff, and it was like way back when I was a teenager, and at the time, because I was a teenager, that was strike one. But I thought that things would never go back to normal, and I would just struggle forever. And it was hard. Again, I wouldn't wish it. I wouldn't wish to go through it again. I wouldn't wish it on anyone else. But it made me a lot stronger, and it made me a lot more resilient and toughened to go through some hard things like what we're going through right now. So remember that this is happening for a reason. We can see a reason right now, and that is to keep people safe and to save people's lives, and that's pretty important. But it may have personal reasons for you that you can't see yet. So keep that in mind, and remember that this too shall pass. We will see the other side of this. We are part of history. Chances are we're never going to live through something like this again in our lifetimes. So it may seem like a long time right now. It may seem like, we don't know what time it is, what day it is, when, we had a good night's sleep last, how many meals we've eaten in the last 24 hours, all of those things. Yeah, there's a lot of uncertainty right now, but there will come a point where you look back on this and you're like, oh, yeah, remember that time we all stayed inside? Like, you'll tell your grandchildren about it, and you'll look back on it, and it really won't seem like it was that long. I'm hoping that I don't have to eat these words because, remembering back to a few years worth of hardship that now is like 18 years ago, it feels like a little blip, and it just went by like that. But I'm hoping that this will be one of those normal ups and downs, and this is, if this is a down for you, it's okay. Let it happen. But this is a great time to figure out some coping mechanisms for yourself. Figure out what makes you happy, what gets you out of those bad days and back onto that upswing. Maybe it's music, maybe it's reading, maybe it's getting outside or exercising. Maybe you should get a puppy. That's always a good idea. But whatever it is that makes you tick and makes you smile, cling to that and keep doing it, because we can get through this. We will get through this together, and we are doing this for a very important reason. So remember that. Hang in there. Keep your chin up. It's almost over for the semester at least. And don't just take my word for it. There is a link below to some other awesome people who I get to look up to and are an endless source of motivation for me, and just made the funniest, most awesome video that'll make you laugh and make you smile, and I wanted to share that with you as well. So keep smiling. Email me anytime if you are struggling, if you are happy, if you are feeling goofy and you want to have a dance party. I am all for that. So next semester or next week when the semester's over doesn't mean I stop checking my email and replying. I still connect with former students all the time on social media and through email and through all sorts of mechanisms. I'm easy to find. So please know that you can reach out to me at any point. And if I can do something to get you through this and share some perspective and help get you onto that upswing, I will do it, because you can all get through this. I know that. You can do it. You are doing it. You're doing a good job. Keep doing what you're doing. Stay healthy. Wash your hands. I miss you all, and I hope you're doing well.